What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. Henry Cejudo has shared his thoughts on Tom Aspinall's controversial eye poke incident at UFC 321, comparing it to his own recent experience inside the octagon. Cejudo recalled his fight against Song Yadong, where he was also poked in the eye and momentarily lost vision. In that fight, the bout was stopped and Song was awarded a technical decision victory. Drawing parallels between the two situations, Cejudo explained that while both incidents were unfortunate, the handling of them showed how unpredictable these moments can be in combat sports. Cejudo posted his instant reaction, saying, "My champ reaction to the eye poke that just happened between Tom Aspinall and Song. I mean, you see the comparison, it happened to me too. It doesn't take much, you know? I know the UFC won't be happy about this, but it is what it is. They'll have to rebook the fight now. More money, more politics." He then went on to criticize the overall quality of the event, calling UFC 321 one of the worst cards in the organization's history. "Honestly, straight up, this is probably the worst card the UFC has ever put together," Cejudo said. "From the co-main to the main event, it just couldn't get any worse. Horrible decisions, horrible judging, just the whole thing. Wake me up when this card ends, bro." He continued by describing how serious eye injuries can be and how long they take to heal. "Maybe there's still damage there," Cejudo said while showing his eye on camera. "Even a few days ago, my eye would still turn red from the pollution because there's scar tissue left. It takes about a year for your eye to come back to normal again." He even pointed to a small mark in his eye, saying, "You see that little dot? That's permanent damage, man. I'm damaged, bro." Cejudo emphasized how difficult it is to injure an eyeball, but explained that once it happens, it becomes incredibly sensitive. He sympathized with Aspinall's situation, acknowledging that while the injury may not have looked severe, the lingering effects could be much worse than people realize. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Alexander Volkov recently opened up about his performance following his hard-fought split decision win over Juan Almeida this past weekend. The fight stirred a lot of conversation online, especially about Almeida's approach. Despite repeatedly securing takedowns, Almeida spent most of the fight controlling Volkov on the ground without inflicting much damage. Many fans criticized the strategy, calling it a classic case of lay and pray. Even Dana White weighed in, saying he was pleased with the judges for giving Volkov the win, stating, "You can't win a fight by laying on top of somebody." Dana added that he was happy to see the judges reward effective striking and damage rather than just control time. In a post-fight interview, Volkov reflected on his performance and admitted that he wished his takedown defense had been better. "In practice, my takedown defense was much better," Volkov said with a laugh. "I'm a little bit upset that I couldn't show it in the fight, but yeah, I try to be honest. It's a fight. Things happen differently in the cage than in training." He explained that once he was taken down, it was difficult to create the space he needed to escape. Volkov said that Almeida's pressure and grappling made it challenging to get back up, even though he felt confident going into the fight. Volkov joked that next time he might just pull guard intentionally, rather than fighting off a takedown. "Maybe next time when I feel the moment coming, I'll just go to my back right away," he said. "Just give it to him, don't even fight the takedown. I was surprised how easily I went down every time." He added that he still needs to improve his defensive wrestling and work on staying on his feet against high-level grapplers. "Maybe in some alternative universe I have great takedown defense," Volkov laughed, "but not in this one." Despite his frustration, Volkov remained positive about the victory. He acknowledged that while it wasn't his best performance, the win mattered most. He emphasized his desire to evolve and promised fans that he would return sharper, with stronger takedown defense, ready to face whoever comes next. Moving on to another news. Ray Longo didn't hold back when discussing the Tom Aspinall eye poke controversy. From UFC 321, the veteran coach went off on how the situation was handled and called out the criticism aimed at Aspinall, saying it's ridiculous that fans are blaming him for what happened. Longo made it clear that the UFC could have managed the situation in a much better and more professional way. He sarcastically pointed out what he called the genius approach taken during the fight. "The brilliant idea seems to be whatever you do, don't say you can't see," Longo said. "We're not going to ask you if you can see, because obviously if you can't, the fight will be stopped. So let's just pretend everything's fine." He mocked the logic behind it, calling it absurd and unsafe. "Hey doc, when you go in there, whatever you do, don't ask him if he can see, because if the guy says no, the fight's over. That's actually brilliant, right? You want the guy to fight? Just let him get treated later." Unreal. Longo's frustration didn't stop there. He turned his attention to those blaming Aspinall, saying it makes no sense to accuse a fighter of faking an injury when his vision is clearly affected. "You're blaming Aspinall? For what? He got poked in the eye. Why would anyone even want to poke a guy in the eye in the first place? What's the incentive not to?" Longo said. "You poke someone in the eye, you compromise them, and then they're the ones catching heat for it. That's just wrong." He emphasized that fighter safety should always come first, and that the system needs to change to prevent situations like this from happening again. Moving on to another news, Joaquin Buckley recently revealed that he was offered a short-notice fight against Alex Pereira back in 2022, but claims that Alex and his team turned it down. According to Buckley, the opportunity came out of nowhere nowhere after another fighter, Razak Al-Hassan, had to pull out of his scheduled bout due to a shoulder injury. Buckley said that his manager at the time, Brian, called him with what sounded like a stressful tone, hinting that the UFC was struggling to find a replacement opponent for Alex. Buckley recalled the moment, saying, "Brian called me back and sounded all distressed. He was like, 'Man, I gotta present this name to you, but you should talk to your coaches before making a decision.' I told him, in my head, it's already a yes, but let me call coach first." Buckley said that before his manager could even reveal the name, he already had a strong feeling about who it was. I said, "Is it Alex for real?" And he was shocked. He said, "How did you know that?" I told him I just had a feeling, and when he confirmed it, I said, "I'm a dog, man. I got to eat. Let's run it." He explained that despite his manager expressing concern about the matchup, he was all in. Brian didn't like the fight for us. He said Alex was a good fighter, but not a big enough name at the time. But I didn't care. I told him, if that's who they want me to fight, then I'm down. Shortly after agreeing, Buckley said his manager called back with an update that left him both encouraged and disappointed. He told me, "I got some good news and some bad news. The good news was that the UFC loved that I accepted the fight because nobody else wanted to step up and face Alex. But the bad news was that Alex and his coaches said they wouldn't be ready in time to take the fight." Buckley said he respected that decision, but still felt a bit frustrated knowing that he was ready to take on such a dangerous opponent on short notice. "I was motivated because Alex was out there making noise, and I was willing to step up when nobody else would. I was going to fight him, and to be honest with you, I was planning on knocking that man out too." He went on to explain that his game plan would have been a mix of wrestling and striking. "I was going to use my wrestling. I was going to put that singlet on, take him down, tire him out, and finish him. That was the plan." Buckley ended by saying he still respects what Alex has accomplished, but believes that if that fight had happened back then, it could have changed the course of both of their careers. Moving on to another news. Bisping believes that Ilia will fight Justin Gaethje next, despite most of the MMA world expecting a massive showdown between Ilia and Paddy Pimblett. According to Bisping, there's a real possibility that Gaethje could be the one to get the title shot instead. His reasoning is simple. Justin himself has been very vocal about wanting that fight, and even hinted that he might retire if he doesn't get it. That kind of statement puts pressure on the UFC, but Bisping thinks the promotion might give in, considering Gaethje's long-standing record and reputation as one of the most exciting fighters ever to step into the cage. Dana White, however, didn't seem too thrilled when Gaethje mentioned retirement. The UFC president made it clear that if a fighter is already thinking about hanging up the gloves, then maybe he shouldn't be fighting at all. Still, from a business perspective, a fight between Ilia and Gaethje would be massive. Both men are known for their aggressive styles, knockout power, and relentless pressure, making this potential matchup a guaranteed war inside the octagon. Right now, Ilia versus Paddy still feels like one of the biggest fights the UFC could possibly make. The rivalry between them has been building for years, and the fan interest is off the charts. But stylistically, Ilia versus Gaethje might be even more explosive. Gaethje is a wrecking machine, the definition of controlled chaos, known for delivering some of the most violent performances in MMA history. On the other hand, Paddy brings a wild and unpredictable energy, with non-stop pressure and crowd-favorite charisma. Either fight would deliver fireworks, but Bisping believes Gaethje's time served in the sport and his consistency inside the cage make him more deserving. The lightweight division is absolutely stacked right now, with multiple contenders waiting for their shot. Arman is out of the immediate picture, leaving Ilia's first title defense at 155 pounds, likely to be against either Gaethje or Paddy. Bisping said, "If I was a gambling man, I'd say Ilia ends up fighting Justin Gaethje next, simply because of time served, simply because the man deserves it. He's the human highlight reel." He went on to point out that Gaethje has already been in 2 title fights before, and while getting a third one is rare, his body of work speaks for itself. Bisping added that Gaethje has delivered Fight of the Year contenders almost every time he steps into the octagon, and if anyone has earned another title opportunity, it's him. As for Ilia, he's undefeated, the reigning lightweight champion, and already vacated his featherweight belt to fully focus on this new chapter. Bisping called him arguably the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world right now, praising his dominance, confidence, and all-around skill. With Ilia expected to defend his belt soon, the UFC will have to make a choice between 2 massive money fights, the rivalry-fueled showdown with Paddy or the high-stakes war with Gaethje. Either way, the lightweight division is about to witness something special. Moving on to another news, Jon Jones continues to take subtle jabs at Tom Aspinall following the chaotic ending of UFC 321. Right after the event, Jones changed his social media profile picture to an image of a duck wearing an eye patch, clearly mocking Aspinall's injury situation. Fans quickly noticed the dig and began sharing screenshots across platforms, sparking another wave of reactions online. Today, Jones added more fuel to the fire by reposting a graphic comparing his quick finish over Ciryl Gane to Aspinall's fight time at UFC 321. The post included the caption, "Never forget who the GOAT is." Many saw it as Jones reminding everyone of his dominance and taking another playful, yet pointed shot at Aspinall, who's been at the center of controversy since the eye poke incident. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall's latest video has stirred up quite a reaction online. After UFC 321, Aspinall shared a clip from his doctor's visit, aiming to update fans on his condition following the controversial fight stoppage. However, the video seems to have backfired, as some fans began accusing him of quitting too early. In the clip posted to his YouTube channel, Aspinall showed his injured eye, which, to many viewers, didn't appear to be seriously damaged. The doctor explained that while they didn't find anything dangerous, further tests would be needed once Aspinall returned home to the UK. During the visit, the doctor carefully examined his eye and noted that although it looked fine on the surface, it could still have internal damage that wasn't visible right away. Aspinall, sounding frustrated, said it didn't feel much better and that the area was still nearly black and swollen. The doctor agreed, reminding him that he should stop any physical activity until he was fully cleared by the ophthalmology department after a second visit. The doctor reassured Aspinall, saying that the vision appeared okay for now and nothing life-threatening was detected, but they needed to ensure everything returned to normal before he could train or fight again. Despite the doctor's calm explanation, fans were quick to jump on the footage, pointing out that his injury didn't seem as bad as initially believed. Some accused him of giving up too easily, while others defended him, saying eye injuries can be tricky and dangerous. The situation has once again sparked debate about fighter safety and the fine line between bravery and health inside the octagon. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall is now facing a wave of accusations from fans who claim he faked his injury following his recent doctor's visit video. After the clip went public, the comment section exploded with mixed reactions. Many fans began suggesting that Aspinall exaggerated the eye injury he sustained at UFC 321. One fan wrote, "No retinal damage, no detachment, not even a slight abrasion. Are we sure he actually got poked?" Another fan posted a meme with the caption, "I've had edibles that did more damage," mocking the situation and implying that the injury was minimal. Others chimed in, saying the eye looked completely normal for a post-fight condition. "I'm not even going to lie, this looks normal as hell after a fight. I don't know what I'm looking at," one fan commented. Another added, "So no retinal detachment or abrasion. Pretty much confirms he was milking it." Many pointed out that it might have been better if Aspinall hadn't posted the video at all, as it gave critics more ammunition. "He was better off not posting this," one fan said. "Fans are going to have a field day now. Literally no damage. Oscar-worthy performance though, I'll give him that." Some comments were filled with sarcasm, with one user writing, "OMG, will he make it? Prayers sent to him and his family. Not sure how he'll ever recover." Another added, "He had 5 minutes, walk it off." A few even joked that instead of trying to recover, he spent the whole time checking himself in the mirror. The backlash has created a storm on social media, as fans continue debating whether Aspinall was genuinely hurt or simply overplayed the incident, adding more fuel to the growing controversy around the UFC 321 stoppage. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall was left frustrated after being interviewed by Daniel Cormier inside the octagon. Immediately following his fight-ending eye poke against Ciryl Gane at UFC 321, the incident was hard to watch, and Aspinall, visibly in pain and disoriented, was not in the right condition to speak publicly at that moment. According to Adam Cattrall, a British analyst for TNT Sports and a close friend of Aspinall, Tom was unhappy with how things were handled right after the bout. Adam revealed that Tom felt the interview was poorly timed and unnecessary. He said Aspinall made it clear that someone should have stepped in and taken responsibility for managing that situation better. "Listen, don't stick a microphone in that man's face," Tom reportedly said. "There's a situation going on. Get him out of there first, then move things forward." His frustration is understandable, especially considering the severity of the eye poke and the shock of how quickly the fight ended. Interestingly, this isn't the first time such a moment has sparked controversy. Daniel Cormier himself experienced something similar when Joe Rogan interviewed him inside the octagon right after his knockout loss to Jon Jones years ago. Joe later admitted he regretted that decision, acknowledging that fighters in those emotional and physical states shouldn't be expected to give interviews. Despite the chaos, the UFC quickly confirmed that a rematch between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane is already in the works, with Dana White suggesting that early 2026, possibly January or February, is the target. The organization wants to start the new Paramount deal with a bang, and Tom is expected to be one of the headliners alongside stars like Ilia Topuria. 2 major pay-per-view events are already being planned for January, signaling a massive start to the year. Adam Cattrall added that when the dust settles, this entire situation might end up being a blessing in disguise for the heavyweight division. From a fan's point of view, you want competition, you want a bit of jeopardy, and you want to have real conversations about what's next, he said. He believes that Gane's performance in those few minutes before the unfortunate accident showed noticeable improvement. There were positives for Ciryl Gane to take away. Even in that short time, you could see he's leveled up over the past year. Dana White has already made it clear that the UFC plans to run this fight back as soon as possible. Adam noted that the rematch will come with a different tone and much closer betting odds. Tom won't be as big a favorite as he was tonight, far from it, he explained. For context, Aspinall entered UFC 321 as around a plus 250 favorite, reflecting how confident odds makers and fans were in his abilities. But now, with the rematch ahead, head and both fighters motivated to prove something, the narrative around this rivalry has completely changed. Moving on to another news, Daniel Cormier revealed that he saw Tom Aspinall backstage shortly after UFC 321, and what he noticed left him surprised. According to DC, Tom still had bandages covering his right eye and was unable to open it even 20 minutes after the fight ended. What struck Cormier as odd was that the right eye appeared more scraped and swollen, even though the left eye was the one that took the severe poke during the bout. Cormier explained that when he looked closely, Tom's right side seemed scratched down, while the left eye was the one that had been poked knuckle deep, causing visible pain and discomfort. He mentioned that the injury must have been incredibly painful to deal with in the moment, especially considering the confusion around which eye had taken the real damage. Cormier added that Tom appeared upset backstage, not only because of the injury, but also due to the reaction from the crowd. During the fight, many fans in the arena initially booed Tom, believing he had exaggerated the situation. However, after the replay aired, the audience realized how bad the eye poke truly was. The mood quickly shifted, and the boos turned towards Ciryl Gane instead. Cormier noted that the replay clearly showed how deep the poke went, and that it was understandable why Tom could not continue. He emphasized that moments like these remind fans how quickly perception can change once all the details come to light. That's it from MMA Pulse News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.